Okay, here we are at the Woodstock Fruit Festival. Good friend of mine, Robert Lockhart, Dr. Robert Lockhart. And first off, I think you need to tell us what are you doing here, Robert? And
I'm just inverting my body and taking advantage of gravity instead of it compressing my spine and my internal organs and my circulatory system. I'm helping to reverse those stresses just for a few minutes a day.
Yeah.
It's, I think, beneficial because we're continually subjected to the stress of gravity when we sit and stand.
Yeah.
To a certain extent, during our sleeping period, we're able to negate that, but by doing a few minutes a day hanging upside down, you take the load off the circulatory system instead of all the blood pooling down into the lower limbs and the legs and causing varicose veins and hemorrhoids and dropped organs.
Yeah.
We're able to give that, because we're 70% water, aren't we? Especially when we're younger. As we get to my age, being 71, well, you're not quite the same degree. You do lose a little bit of water content.
Oh, really?
You do become more fibrosed, and you get more amyloid plaques and various things depositing in the cells, taking over the space of the water.
Right.
So it increases the blood supply to the brain and the hair. I was going bald when I was in my 20s, and sort of reversed that from... I first started hanging when I was about 25, 20...
Oh, no, really?
27, 28 was when I first was introduced to the inversion.
And these are some special boots you've got on here.
Yeah, they're just hooks that are...
And the bar just set up.
Hooks over the bar. You can do your sit-ups. And
so you've been doing this for like 30, 40 years?
40 years, I suppose.
Yeah.
About 40 years, I guess. Just to give the body a good stretch in all ways.
You gave a really good talk yesterday as well about...
What was I talking about? Hanging upside down? Or?
No, you were talking about stressing the body in certain ways.
Yes.
Can give certain benefits.
It can.
And
I think if we live in a totally stress-free environment, we're not going to be able to survive in this world that we're in at the moment, because of the fact that if you do stress the body very slightly, minimally, you do help to stimulate the immune system, and it leads to a healthier existence.
Yeah. So you talked about nutritional stress?
I talked about nutritional stress slightly. As you get older and further into the raw food lifestyle, you should tend to minimalize your amount of caloric intake over a period of time. Don't try and do it all at once, because there's a difference between dieting for short-term health and dieting for longevity. Initially, you'll probably want to be eating quite a bit of fresh raw fruits and vegetables.
Yeah.
But you've got to realize that eating is a two-edged sword. Eating is essential to sustain us, and yet, due to oxidization of food when we digest food, etc., free radicals are formed. So the more you eat, the more free radicals and more cross-links are formed in your cells, and therefore the faster you age. So if you want to slow the aging process, you should gradually minimize both your eating and even water. I don't drink water, I just get it from what I eat.
Yeah.
The
You
juicy
don't
fruits.
you don't drink water at all?
No. Occasionally I'll drink coconut water.
Right.
Yeah. Because I think that is probably the best water you can take into your body, because it's got the electrolytes and it's a living water, whereas most other water, especially distilled water, is dead water. It's unstructured.
Okay.
So your body's got to structure that water again before it can make it part of your cellular makeup. Yeah.
Yeah. There's another interesting thing you talked about where you said that with the bad diet that people eat and everything, that the cells don't get enough oxygen and they start to mutate into differentiate into simpler cells.
De-differentiate. The cells start to de-differentiate, and they're due to the fact that the oxygen level is being restricted into the cells because the amount of oxygen can't get in.
Yeah.
Because of the fat
Sure.
that generally people eat is blocking it, and also because they don't practice enough deep breathing exercise to get the amount of oxygen into their lungs to allow that to be taken to the cells,
Yeah.
blood circulation. So yeah, the cells start to simplify and de-differentiate, and that's the first stages of cancer forming, because they're changing from an aerobic form of respiration into an anaerobic form of respiration, which is more like a fermentation, and they're changing their whole respiratory makeup in order to adapt, because the body tries to adapt as much as it can in order to keep the life system going for as long as possible. That's what's important to the cells. They don't really care as far as health goes. They want to survive as long as possible.
Right.
That's what it's all about, just survival. And they'll survive under the most difficult conditions if those cells are placed in the situation where they have to survive in order to keep going.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I think you've got a class just about to start, so I'll leave you now. But what's your? You've got some retreats coming up and things like that.
Yes, I do.
How do people hear about you and find out about you?
Yeah, I do some retreats both in the Philippines and in tropical northern Australia, and the best way to contact me is probably through Facebook. Just go to Robert Lockhart on Facebook, and I'll come up. And I'm forming a page on Facebook, which is I'm going to devote to the information about the retreats. But once you just maybe message me on Facebook, it's probably easier, and then I can send you my email, and you can get details that way.
Excellent. Well, thanks, Robert.
Okay,
and,
mate. No problem.
Have a good class.
Thank you.